Hi, I'm Tim Autry, and welcome to the 7 Natural Principles of Human Performance. If you've been around for a while, complete this jingle. If you think it's butter, but it's not. Remember this? If you were around that far back in the day, the answer, of course, is it's chiffon. The tagline of these commercials, played over and over when I was a kid, was, "It's not nice to fool Mother Nature." These were silly commercials, however, they approach the surface of a sentinel point. Not only can you not fool Mother Nature, she always wins. Heck, they even used to tell us margarine is healthier. Now we know better. Not only does Mother Nature always win, she always knows best. I hadn't thought about these commercials for decades. Why would I? It was only when I made this recent discovery that they came to mind. Here's the deal. I've dedicated most of my adult life to helping make our world better and safer. I trust you have similar feelings, which is why you're watching this or listening to these words. In his first novel, The Sun Also Rises, Ernest Hemingway's character Mike Campbell, a World War I Scottish War veteran, is asked how he went bankrupt. 2 ways, Mike replied, gradually and then suddenly. History has since revealed that the biggest, most important macro shifts in perspectives, attitudes, and outcomes also tend to happen gradually and then all at once. As I'm recording this, day-to-day news headlines continue to reveal and confirm that your efforts and my efforts to make things better in ways where everyone wins, are more sorely needed now than ever before in our lifetimes. Just as Hemingway's tome has often been proven for the negatives, PPI's past 18 years of experience have proven this can also be true for making things better. It's time for me and you and all who are committed to a better future to accelerate the pace and the effectiveness of our efforts. Because what I discovered is so vital to individual, team, and organizational performance, I wanted to get this information into your hands and hopefully into the inner workings of how you do what you do as soon as possible. This is why I'm revealing the simple keys for doing so here and now. As you discover these AI-validated insights, take what will best benefit you, your team, and your organization now and integrate them as soon as possible into your efforts to make things better. To stay on the forefront of what we're continuing to discover, please use the links provided to follow me on LinkedIn. Subscribe to Take 2 with Tim. And if you want more in-depth insight into the 7 natural principles, including how to leverage them as a leader and influencer, register to be first notified when my next book, The 7 Natural Principles of Human Performance, Simple Wisdom for Individual, Team, and Organizational Transformation, is released in early 2024. Here's the backstory. Since 2005, our organization, PPI, has been honored to work with and influence more than 100,000 team members and their leaders in many industries across 5 continents. We've helped clients elevate human performance and reduce human error to the benefits of safety, reliability, efficiency, productivity, team member engagement and satisfaction, and profitability. Our experiences have provided us with a virtual classroom for refining our approach, for observing participant choices, actions, behaviors, and interactions during and post-training, and for monitoring outcomes and results. During this time, our clients have chalked up an unparalleled track record of performance improvement successes. To provide some validation, here are a few of them. Best ever safety records, 57.1% reduction in employee turnover, 72% sustained reduction in human error rate, 74.6% reduction in outage to outage human error rates, 80% reduction in bargaining unit grievances, 35% increase in profits. During the C-19 global shutdown, we had a grand opportunity to step back and look at where we came from, our efforts to date, what our clients had achieved, and most importantly, how they had been able to rapidly and sustainably improve performance. While poring over what we'd learned, I was specifically looking for the underlying core, the fundamental aspects leading to the successes we'd observed. I had my suspicions, however, I wanted total validation before I would share what I had suspected. As it happened, I had the opportunity to utilize artificial intelligence, or AI, to search for and identify the underlying elements of how and why we had seen such rapid, substantial, and sustained successes. AI confirmed and reinforced my suspicions. What I discovered and have now validated launches an entirely new era of simplicity and effectiveness for all who seek to improve human and organizational performance. This is true across generations, across disciplines, across industries, across continents. A handful of principles that govern all human choices, actions, behaviors, and interactions. Seminal to our clients' successes, we've been able to help organizations achieve such successes and, even more importantly, do so sustainably, because rather than focusing on greater levels of compliance, the PPI approach builds upon and leverages positive aspects of human nature to the benefit of all stakeholders: individual team members, the organizations they serve, clients and customers, associated vendors and contractors, shareholders, and the public and the environment. This focus is what made us and makes us different. Rather than using rules and tools to achieve greater compliance, the PPI approach targets the core of all team and organizational performance: why team members do what they do the way they do it. When prospective clients initially reach out to us, they're often seeking to improve safety and reduce human error. This was, in fact, the reason why we started our company in the first place. As our client experiences and outcomes began to accumulate, we discovered that not only was the PPI approach generating rapidly improving outcomes, it was doing so sustainably, and team member attitudes and morale were improving through the process. You might even call this a happy accident. Not only were our clients achieving substantial improvements in safety and error reduction, they were seeing improvements in mindsets, perceptions, productivity, engagement, and ownership. We discovered that our clients were achieving something much greater and much more fundamental and much more powerful than transient improvements in KPIs and metrics. Their culture was being transformed. And culture transformation is essential for sustainability. This truth was relayed by Peter Drucker, who many consider to be the brightest business mind of the 20th century, when he wrote, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast, excellence for lunch, and everything else for dinner." In other words, culture determines results. However, it's been our observation that few still truly understand what culture is, few have little sense of how their culture arrived at its current state, and many remain confused and overwhelmed about how to change it. Many, even those who consider themselves experts, continue to pontificate that changing culture is hard and it takes a long time. Based on our experiences around the globe over the past 18 years, we've discovered that transforming culture is not hard and it can be achieved quickly. That is, when you employ an approach counter to the mainstream. We call it principle-based performance improvement. This approach has been successful because it targets the core of team member choices, actions, behaviors, and interactions. It targets their reasons why. I'll be diving much further into the details, especially the how-to details, in my next book, The 7 Natural Principles of Human Performance. For now, let me unravel the underlying mysteries of achieving sustainable performance improvement by introducing you to the powerful principles that lie just underneath individuals' choices, actions, behaviors, and interactions. Welcome to the 7 Natural Principles of Human Performance. Here's the premise. Human nature has always been a mystery. This might be the reason Amazon currently carries more than 50,000 books with the word leadership in their titles. Not only has human nature always been a mystery, we're now confronted with a world where the values of those who inhabit it are more divided than ever. This division appears to be growing at present and into the future. Changes are occurring more rapidly than ever and continuing to accelerate. Multiple generations, hybrid work environments, and the accelerating infusion of AI into work practices are introducing new and additional challenges. Team members bring the manifestations of differing values and perspectives into their work and their interactions with other members of the organization. Social constraints for understanding one individual relative to another are more complex and overwhelming than ever, and teams and organizational performance must get better in spite of all of this. The 7 natural principles offer you the keys to the kingdom for understanding the complicated nature of human choices, actions, behaviors, and interactions. They synergistically impact the reasons why each of us does what we do the way we do it. Understanding what these principles are and how they affect our human nature unravels the secret for how to influence ourselves and others. Not from the classic recipe of more rules and tools followed by policing to ensure compliance, but rather in a way that prompts you and your team members to want to do right things in right ways, even when no one's watching. This, my friend, is the future of performance improvement.